Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Trust everybody's doing well. Once again, welcome to our final support call for this year, 2024. Um, Happy new month of December, and happy holiday season 2024. So we do have our monthly sessions every first Saturday of each month, where we get our practitioner to come and we get to meet them. They share their journey and give us tidbits or you know uh, words of wisdom as they get on the call to leverage, especially as we all journey together within the IT space. We also have uh, third Saturday call, which is a much more product deep dive. There we have the practitioners come in, share their journey, pick up on a particular topic area within the tool, especially ServiceNow, and then they give us, hands-on. So they talk about it, and then they, give us a high-level demo on it, and then also, in these sessions they answer our questions, and then share, those recommendations, those guidance, so that way we are better poised for leveraging on this tool when we go on. So today we are privileged to meet Yemi Banjo. So he's here early, just like every one of us. So we thank you, and then we'll get to learn as much as we can from him, and then apply that to our own journeys. Once again, it's all recorded. It's all via WebEx. Definitely, you are more than welcome to put questions in the chat. You are also able to, use the emoji. You're able to raise hands as well, so that way we can, act and tackle or get to your questions. So bear in mind, it's something that we are also in the community going to be sharing the recordings and then the contact, so that you can always link up and then grow the network. And then also, one thing we need to also remember is for this year we are still having the ServiceNow MVP, which is on now. The MVP for 2025 is open, so we do have our practitioners where recommended to go support them. You are also able to actually um, self-nominate yourself, so that way you're able to share your experience. They will go check out your profile and what you're doing in the community, as well as how you give back. Um, just as an FYI, in 2024 December there will be no Rising Star, but the Rising Star is going through a revamp. So if you have recommendations you want to share, you can go ahead and place that on to the community team, which is right now they are reshaping it just like they did before for the MVP last year. Um, Also, we don't have any certificate maintenance yet for 2024. What's going to happen is going to take place in 2025. This would be from January 15, because that will be the date where exams for the Xanadu release will become available. So that way, 2024, we would have it early in 2025. We will have up until I believe April or so, to get the payments in, and then you have until um, June to actually complete your Delta exams. Once you make that payment beginning January 15, you're able to go in and then take the Delta exams, just like we have now in February. Once we reconvene, we would definitely be able to do that. I believe by then we would have the Delta exam guides. They should be available, and then just in one session like this, we can do the CSA, which most of us would have within the space. Just as an FYI, as we get more information, we'll put them in the forums, the ServiceNow forum that we belong, as well as the Pan African forum too as well. So Yemi, the floor is yours. We've done our public service announcements, so let's get to meet you. Over to you. Thank you.
Again, good morning, everybody. My name is Yemi Banjo. I'm a project manager, also double as a project engineer. I'm a certified systems administrator. Um, I work in compliance. Uh, Breaking it down, the business unit that I work for is asset integrity management for liquid and gas pipelines. Core of my work is centered around keeping our clients out of jail, keeping them from paying huge sums of money to the government in fines. Um, we try we try as much as possible to keep the assets in tip-top shape. What we do is we take the regulations, we take the law, basically, we interpret it into in layman terms, so to speak, present it to our clients and help them understand how we can better manage their assets. Um, my my advent into ServiceNow, well, I think my relationship with ServiceNow started about 4 years ago. I other things took precedence, but I'm back transitioning again into full time, looking to go full time into service now. Um, my current employers are also implementing service now at our place of work. There are a couple of things, a couple of integrations my employers are looking to implement. They're looking to leverage predictive analysis, and they're also looking into machine learning because what my employers do basically is take asset integrity information, update it, advise the client on as the need arises, based on requirements, and also based on updates with the regulations, the government regulations, because these regulations are updated every now and again. So my employers are looking to leverage these tools to better automate our work processes. So I hope my introduction is clear and concise. Hope it makes sense.
Good deal, good deal. Doing that way, we're getting to meet you for sure. There's always regulations changing, so compliance is the GRC space. So that's a good thing. And then asset management. I know we had, our asset guru come in and share a thing or two about IT asset management, as well as the CMDB. So great stuff, great stuff. Um, so what do you do outside of work to rest and recharge? Because there are no questions yet in the chat. But what do you do outside of work to rest and recharge?
Huh. Um, just like most of the outdoors, yes. I live in Austin. It's called Hill Country. Um, there are a lot of sites, a lot of places to see. My next stop is Mount Bonnell. There are a couple of lakes. We have Lake Colorado runs through. I think going for up south, there's also Guadalupe. So I'm leveraging the outdoors. I'm trying to be zen. I'm learning this thing. So if you got any suggestions, I'm very open.
Good deal, good deal. That's the whole idea. That's recharging, going out of oneself. Nature is always a good way to see it. Then you see the big picture, how we are just a small piece in the whole puzzle. So it's a good thing. I mean, the outdoors is great, great stuff. You always see where nature actually collides with us and how you're contributing to that. So hey. One thing is we road trip and then all those trails and walks. You can't miss out on that one. So it's a huge sight to behold. So good deal. Um, for Austin, we're in Austin. I think you all have a lot of things going on, like going towards that Colorado thing. So that one is going to be something good to explore. Um,
Yeah, there are quite a couple of things I'm yet to explore. I haven't had the chance. But there's a lot to see in Austin. The music festivals.
Yeah, that for sure. You guys are like they call it you're the music you're supposed to be the music capital of Texas, I believe. You're on
Yep,
it.
I believe so. Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
of Texas, I believe. Yeah. So how do you stay up to date with technology? I know you have started to share a little bit. You all are coming through with integrations as well as the predictive analytics and machine learning. So how do you stay up to date with technology trends? How do you stay up to date?
I leverage platforms like this, and I also have you to thank, Nemeka. Um, I get updates from I stay up to date with ServiceNow news feeds and all other kinds of news feeds. I also leverage a community of practitioners who have been in the system before me. Basically networking and the internet, basically.
Good deal. Good deal. There's always something new. As technology is always evolving, so we just have to evolve with it. So that's the whole essence of it. There will always be something new about either AI or whether green revolution or whether um, changes in regulations or whatever. So we just have to adapt or keep up or evolve with it. So it's good stuff. Um, Now we're getting into the crunch of it. Uh, no questions yet in the chat. So we do have um, training versus certification. Training versus certification. What's your take? There's that push and pull. Everybody's like, I'll just go for my training or I'll go for certification because what do you think in your own in your own understanding would be a good way to go?
All right. So up until recently, I think training was the way to go. You find people functioning in certain roles with um, years of experience to suffice. Uh, just like you send out an application, it'll like if you haven't got a college degree, certain years of experience will suffice. And but I think people are now more interested in looking at certificates. I personally would settle for training because when you have what's the certificate without the knowledge? So training for me is very paramount. Certificate, it's I think that's second base. If you ask me, that's my opinion, really.
Yeah, good. Like most of the questions, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just perspective, and then how it works for one. So, the training and certification is always a mix of both of them. Reason like you alluded to, prior to now, all it is go do your training and then have the years of experience on the task. But right now, the way they have it set up is um if you don't have the required certifications that show that skill set, like you don't even get to be interviewed. You don't even get shortlisted by the application tracking system.
Yep.
So there is no way um, that they would even give you that opportunity to show the learning or the training you have, right? So and then that way you're not really able to, go expose or like they say, go showcase your skill set. But if you have that certification backed by that training, that gives you the foot in the door and then it gives you the staying power. So a mix of both of them. And imagine if you are working for, if you're working towards like, trying to get an advanced degree, or maybe if you're learning new skills, especially like, the whole ChatGPT or, Gen AI and stuff like that. Some of them you might not, be opportune to, go get, formal training like in the college setting, but maybe those, boot camps or short courses and then do those sets to validate and then get you those, some of those niche areas. So the mix of both of them is always a great way. But like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just perspective. Um, The the next question begins off of that. Um, what's your take on generalizing? You know, which means a host of stuff, or specializing. So looking at niche areas, going ahead to specialize in that regard, so that way you can you can be the go-to all or be all once you're coming through while you're working. So what's your take on generalizing versus specializing whilst you're in the workplace?
All right, so I think that'll be based on temperament.
Okay.
Some people are able to focus, and some people are do better doing multiple things at a time. I will say generalize first, and focus on one when you find a niche, and over time you'll def we all look to be consultants at some point, and you definitely need some form of general knowledge to be able to speak to issues and problems every now and again. But the way to go for me, I'll say generalize first, and focus on an area eventually, if that's what works for you.
Perfect. Perfect. That's the whole essence. There's that sweet spot, in between they call generalizing specialist. But yes, depending on where you are in your career, starting out as a generalist um, gives you that, the ability to always have a job so that you can, put your bills in order. Imagine if you're working for like the consulting firm, which everybody's going to definitely have to. You might not be working for a customer. Imagine if you're working for a partner organization, and then they are always having projects every 90 days, or sometimes depending on how, long those, contracts exist for. Um, there are some of them that they are turnkey, right? You come in, you do your job. That's what consulting is, or analysis is really all about. You come in, you do your job, you go. So in that regard, you would be able to come in there, you should be knowledgeable about whatever it is. You don't necessarily have to be a guru, right? But
Yeah.
you'll be knowledgeable about it, be able to, engage and then provide, some expertise or level of expertise there, and you get the job done because you have others, you're working with teams, you're engaging, making sure that things get done. But as you go along, in your career, you definitely will be that, subject matter, in some, areas, if you will, as you go, because you would see, it's like reading the room or reading, the way technology is evolving. You would see those areas that you find very helpful for yourself, or niche, where you can actually, go ahead and, like I say, burn the midnight candle, or really dig deep. So that's always a great way to look at it. So for a fact, there is no essence. Imagine if I always look at it from the angle of, imagine if you're working for a consulting firm, and maybe you're a specialist. Imagine starting out as you're the specialist in this area, and maybe the contract ends. The beauty about some of those organizations, they're able to keep you on the bench, but for how long? So imagine you're waiting for only jobs that are only within that area or that your niche, and they're not forthcoming. That can burn you. So especially if you're not, one where maybe it took them quite a lot of time to even get you, they might throw you off board. Some of these consulting firms, they do that because it's all about bottom line, or making, profits, if you will. So just, be mindful there. But as you go along, definitely it's something you would want to, find that niche or soft spot that you know, you would always be the go-to person on it, and then, there will always be something or someone looking out for you, or will be, singing your praises and saying, "Go look for this fellow," or, when you come, say one or two things and show them, how it works. Then they would really, look for you for sure. Emeka gives a question. He says, as you stated, he says, laws and regulations are important, and they do change, especially for business operations. So how do you align the business, especially with infrastructure in their environment, against any of those regulations? And then in aspects of assets, hardware and software, how do you kick off? So how
Hmm.
do you kick off in those your regulations? So let's say you're trying to start on these projects or these changes that you notice. How do you kick off? Yes.
Okay. Permit me to speak as a project manager, not even as a ServiceNow analyst.
Good deal.
Uh, very first thing, meet with your key stakeholders. Well, let's assume you just got into an organization. Um, what's the first thing you do? You look at the repository. You look at where how things are done. You look at the policies and um, work processes of the new environment. You meet with the key stakeholders. It's like you're starting a project on your own. You gather requirements. When I say requirements, you listen actively. You ask questions. Asking the right questions to elicit the right responses. It's like you're starting a project on your own. You gather your own set of requirements, understanding how the system works. Because without meeting with key stakeholders, everybody informed, um, you know, you the requirements up front save you a whole lot of trouble down the line. So once you're done doing that, you look at the system, you baseline. This is what it is. Once you're done baselining it, then you come back. You look at the problem statement, so to speak. You know what approach you want to take to it. How you want to approach this problem. You look at the assumptions, whatever risks. Like I said, permit me to go on as a project manager. Look at your risk, your assumptions. You put all of this together, then you have a plan in your own head that this is how I want to go about it. I'll also advise you do a gap analysis. Do a brief gap analysis, see where the problem is, see where the pain points are. There, that helps you. That gives you a roadmap. You have your own roadmap on how you want to approach the problem. Um, then we're talking about regulations. Um, in my line of work, you have to do a lot of studying. Um, talking about pipelines, you're working with Texas Department of Transportation. You're working with PHMSA, pipelines and hazardous materials safety administration. So these regulations change all the time. We take a lot of these things for granted until we get into it. For a lot of us who have gas pipelines running through our homes, we don't know how it comes in, we don't know how it goes out, we don't know how it's maintained. So these laws are to prevent, incidents from happening. I'm sure you've probably looked online, you've seen gas explosions, you've seen all kinds of disasters caused by ruptured pipelines or pipelines that they didn't even know existed or had been abandoned and had issues with them. So you'd have to do a lot of studying in my line of work. You'd have to understand what the regulations are. What are the newest regulations in town? For instance, you want to run a pipeline that's a certain length. You have to have certain kinds of valves that you have to put in those pipelines. You have to have shutdown valves. You have to have emergency safety valves. You have to have all kinds of things. And these things evolve over time. There is constant evolution of this technology and of these assets. Over time we find newer and better ways to make these assets safer. So you have to keep yourself updated personally. You have to, personal education edification is very important in my line of work. Once you're armed with that, um, you look at what your employers have. You see, I can't begin to tell you details of what my employers have, but you have to compare and see how you are bringing value to your clients. Um, my employers do not own these assets. Well, let me say they do not own because, yeah, let me leave it at that. We bring intellectual property. We use it to assist our clients. So you look at the company policies and work processes and see how they align with the requirements. When I say requirements, they align with the law, they align with the regulations. In terms of software, um, we do our best. Once we get a legal mandate, we do our best to get this information, manage this information, store them safely, process this information, and review them based on requirements. And part of the software that my employers are looking to bring on board, like I said, they've just started to implement ServiceNow. And ServiceNow is to help them manage these processes. And ServiceNow is I think one of the best ERP solutions out there, and a whole lot of government parastatals or government bodies use of ServiceNow. So in terms of software, in terms of what we use, what it's everything is compliant. So it's compliance is key. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, I believe Emeka, does that answer your question? I believe I didn't see any response in here, but yeah, that covers it. Okay, good. Dustin, how's it going? Good. Um, there's always there's always a method to go about it. The major thing is that method. There would always be that template, right, that you follow, like checklist item, but no two projects are the same. So, but the good reason is to, have those, whether checklists or templates or guidance
Yeah,
where
sorry
you
to cut you short,
go
Jamaica.
ahead. You're good. You're good.
I forgot one particular something that crossed my mind I was supposed to mention. Another thing is when you walk into an organization like that, you gotta check if they have processes or templates.
Hmm.
Some organizations have both.
Hmm.
So you look at their processes, if there is something you can come in there to help them make better, do any improvement there, or if there are templates, if you look at their templates or whatever business process improvement you can bring to, bring to the business. That's something crossed my mind I was supposed to have mentioned earlier.
Good stuff. Good stuff. That's the whole essence of. I say this all the time, but that's the truth. You don't have the answers, but you come in with the questions that beget answers. So, and that's analysis. Analysis is about coming in you're in there. You can go by any moniker, whether it's consultant, right? Whether they call you they call you a scientist or whatever. But the idea is you're coming there to ask questions. Those questions you bring in, you're using those questions. You have templates, maybe question sets or question templates. The answers to those questions, you're getting more insights, then you're able to put your own 2 cents because your experience. That's what you comes. That's what it all boils down to. You might not just come out with all the solutions from the get-go, no, because if by doing that, then you have actually shot yourself in the leg. Because imagine if it doesn't work, you don't even have buy-in. Imagine if it's the best technology, then it means you have not even carried the people along. But you need to engage. Those questions help you do that, so that way you can get that buy-in from them, and then they also get that believe that they are part of that solution and success story, and then they actually use it, or they will actually help you champion those your outcomes, or those your outputs, or whatever that you deliver for them. That's a great one for you to remember. I think we have the um, no other questions in the chat. We do have the final question, which is the words of wisdom, words of advice that you have for anyone trying to break into the career and grow their career in IT. The words of advice that you have.
Hmm. I might even be taking notes myself. I'm still pretty much a neophyte in the IT space. I'm still learning, but above everything, leverage the resources out there. Um, YouTube is a school on its own. I have a Udemy account. Um, Leverage communities like this. Uh, Shout out to Nemika. Um, I I've learned a whole lot ever since I joined this group. It's been fantastic. Um, there's also something I really took for granted up until recently. Getting a reading partner, getting someone to hold you accountable to what you do. Um, the IT space is vast. Look for what works for you, what aligns with your temperament, and go for it. Like I said, I my first look at ServiceNow was 4 years ago. Now I'm back to it after 4 years. I left it for 4 years, and I'd say don't take your eyes off the ball. There's a ServiceNow, for instance, has everything you need in there. Everything. You go in there, navigate. It'll teach you. It'll give you templates. It'll tell you what to do. You want to start up a project, you can go to ServiceNow and pick projects and bring it back into your development space, your instance, you know. So I think the resources are out there. Leverage the community. I have had more success working with the community than even out there. YouTube is a school on its own. It's a university on its own. You can go out there, and the resources are available. And, yeah, that's um, that's that's how far I've come.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. And that's the truth. There is every type of resource you need, whether it's YouTube, even the Google that we always use it, but we fail to even use it. Well, Google is there. Put it there. Put the question there. Especially when you're trying to go brainstorm, and then you look at those documents, the resources, the community like this. There's a host of stuff that you need. It's all in your fingertips. At least it's not where we have to go to cyber cafe like back in the day or stuff. But all of these things is on your phone now. So I mean, it's there. And they ask the question. There's always something, going on out there. Udemy, I mean, the courses that are there, ServiceNow communities there, ServiceNow YouTube channel, Slack. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot. There's a lot. And then don't try to reinvent the wheel. So some of these things have been done. There are templates there. Go and deploy them in your PDI. In fact, once you join any company with the company email, go there and create you an account. Even if you have your private one, go and create one. It just means you have an extra place to try. I remember, back in the day when all my emails, I had email after email, I mean, which I used to keep up. I had an account with each one. What I was doing was, I would use this one for, trying out this instance version, use the other one for the next version, stuff like that, especially when upgrades come in and stuff. And then I go and try out new functionality, and then make sure that, I have a group grasp of it. Because that's the whole idea here. You know, constant learning. You're going to always have to do that. But all you need to succeed is available to you, and then you have to do your own homework, right? So because everyone is able to help you as much as you want to help yourself. So you have to be the one on the driver's seat. Like, be hungry for it. Like, until the results come, you're not going to let your eyes off that price or eyes off the ball. You shouldn't do that. One thing for certain, what doesn't work today is going to work tomorrow. So the only thing is, it takes some breaks, as our speaker talked about. Take you some break, because sometimes it can be a lot, like the stress of the world is on your shoulders. But once you get that clarity, go out, change some scenery, soak up the whole environment that you live in, and you see that you're just part of it, and then get that clear perspective, you come at it again, and then for sure, results will come. Sometimes they could trickle in, sometimes they can come in floods, but sure, you will definitely get there. People are out there to help the communities there. Pan African IT, the ServiceNow, IT, Niger Dev Meetup. Kudos to, Tosin and Emeka and the team. They're all doing amazing job there. Do what you need to do. It's very important. We all rise together. For sure. The recording will be out a couple of minutes. I don't see any other questions in the chat. Once again, feel free. We would share, Yemi's contact. Once again, thank you, Yemi, for sharing your Saturday, share your experience with us. We're grateful. Um, for sure. Uh, it's it's important to continue to network with one another and then move this conversation. We would pick up in January. I say January, in February. Once at least everybody should enjoy the holiday season, and then in the new year. I think February 1st should be the first session for the year, and then we should be able to get our party on the road.
Thank you, Emeka, for having me, and thank you, everybody. I am also looking to network. I'm looking to leverage this platform as much as I can, and yeah, I hope to meet more people online and in person. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and happy holiday season 2022, 2024. Bye bye.
Bye bye.